Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to share with you my top large denomination notes in my collection from 1929 all the way to 2013. And I'm going to start with the upper left-hand corner $100 from 1929. And notice how they used to call those $100 back then national currency, not like the modern $100 notes or the Federal Reserve notes. National currency. Notice how it says the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis will pay to the bearer on demand $100, and this is 1929. Notice how the seal was brown back then, even the serial number. It's a lot going on. Franklin in the middle never was a president, but he is one of the founding fathers of America. The backside is the, I believe it's called the Independence Hole. It's also a lot going on. Notice how the margins are kind of off center a little bit, which is usual for that period. It's a little wider here, a little tighter there, but still good condition compared to how old this national currency is. It's almost 95 years old and absolutely in good condition. And that's going to be my number one on my list. Number two is going to be the $100 note from 1950. And as you see, this note is called Federal Reserve Note, $100. And as you see, Franklin image is almost identical to the one in 1929. And as you see, the seal now is becoming green. So does the serial number as well. And the backside is they just maintain the Independence Hole and almost the classic design that kept using it all the way to late 1990s. So I'm just so in love with this classic design of the $100 note. I find it very appealing. So that's going to be my number two on my list. Number three on my list is the $100 from 1966, as you see here. And I believe they used to call this United States note. Notice in the 50s, the $100 note used to be called Federal Reserve note. Now this one is called United States note. And I believe they used to call this a legal tender also. Notice what they say here. This note is a legal tender for all debts, public and private. Notice how the seal is now in red, so does the serial number. This is 1966. Franklin is maintaining his image in the middle. And the back is almost identical to the previous designs. You got the Independence Hole. I got some marking over there. I love the margins, almost perfect. Even the condition of this note is really in a good condition. I probably give it maybe 40 to 45 PMG. Yeah, so this is going to be my number three on my list. And number four on my list is going to be the $100 from 1996. Notice what's written on this note, Federal Reserve note, $100, and this is 1996, as you see here. Now we're back to the green seal, just like the 1950s, as you see here. And Franklin image is now becoming larger. If I know my image is going to be on the $100 bill, I would get a haircut a day before. I'm just kidding. This is just an iconic image of Franklin, and he really earned his image on this $100 note. And this guy been on this note for almost 100 years. There's no question about how important Franklin was in the American Revolution and one of the pillars of the founding of America. He was never president, but he's one of the father founders of this country. Notice how the back is now kind of a little stretching up. No more arches or angled hundreds compared to the 1950s or the 60s or even the 1929. Everything is kind of in order here, less details and less arches and curves. I kind of like this design. I just don't like how the image is going bigger. And I feel like his previous representation was really representing the classic look of the $100 note. And this is just my opinion. So that's going to be my number four on my list. Number five is going to be the $100 note from 13, and this is the modern $100 note that we use today in the market. And yeah, so they removed the frame around Franklin and they made his image a little larger. Notice how the seal is now in green, just like the previous version. I think this is a little greener. So does the serial number, and got a lot going on here. July 4th, 1776. What's cool about this $100 note is the serial number. Notice how the serial number is 01014466. It's not a radar, it's not a repeater. I'm not sure what the serial number is, but I thought this $100 worth keeping, especially it's a really in good condition. The back is just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely in a good condition. Margins are just perfect. I got some pinholes, I believe they're here and here, but that's not gonna affect the value of this bill. I just like the serial number. I find it very appealing, and I'm gonna do more digging to find out what should I call this serial number. So that's going to be my number 5 on my list. Number 6 is going to be the $100 note from 13. Nothing super special about this note but the star, as you see here. This is the first time seeing a $100 note with a star. Really great condition. Everything is matching the previous $100 note. The only difference is the star. The back is absolutely great condition as well. There's no pinholes here, any marks or folding. Straight from the ATM machine. Probably light circulation, but that's not going to affect the value of this note. Star notes usually are valued more than the market value, so this probably like 110, 120, it depends on the buyer. And yeah, so and also we got a very close number to 1776 here. This is almost like a birthday note. This could be read as March 18th, 1773 star. I'm gonna check and see if there's any important figure was born on that date, or if anything important in history happened on that date. So that's going to be my number 6 on my list. Number 7 is going to be another $100 note from 2009. And what makes this $100 note really special is the serial number. This is almost a repeater, 94, 94, 94. And if the 28 was 94, we're absolutely gonna call this $100 note repeater serial number. Even with this current serial number, this one is still special, and I believe it's worth collecting, especially with condition like this. And the back is absolutely great condition. Oh, here they are. Okay, oh, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, but I mean, even with that, still, like this is really a very collectible serial number. So that's going to be my number 7 on my list. Number 8 is going to be another $100 note from 2013, and this one has something really unique in it. Look at the serial number here. It starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 7. Now, I showed in previous videos a dollar note with what we call it here in the collecting world, a ladder serial number where it starts with 1 and ends with 8. I have it on a dollar note, but this one is almost a ladder serial number. Even with this current serial number, it's still considered maybe a partial ladder serial number, and that alone makes this bill highly collectible and worth keeping. The backside is absolutely great condition, no sign of any circulation, straight up from the bank. And I'm just so in love with the serial number, man. It's just absolutely beautiful. So that's going to be number 8 on my list. Number 9 on my list is nobody but the $500 note from 1934, graded and authenticated by PMG, and it's 50 EPQ, and William McKinley is in the middle. Now, in 1934, there was some form of shortage of cash in the market, and people were hoarding a lot of gold, and the federal government needed to print large denomination to pay people to get this gold. So they printed the $500 note, the $1,000 note, the $5,000 note, and even $10,000 note. I believe there's also a $100,000 note, but it's only between banks. Now, coming back to this $500 note, as you see here, 1934, lime green, absolutely great condition. I mean, we're talking 50, and anything above 50 is really like top 10% tier of the $500 notes market, which is really hard to find. Look at the backside, absolutely great condition, exceptional paper quality. It's a lot of like empty spaces here and there. Margins are absolutely beautiful, nothing off center over here. For those who don't know, William McKinley is, I believe he was a Republican president. He was elected 1897, and he was assassinated, I believe, in 1901, and then Teddy Roosevelt took over. He is without any doubt one of the heroes of that era, and I guess he earned his image here. So that's going to be my number 9 on my list. And number 10 on my list is nobody but the $1,000 note from 1934, graded and authenticated by PMG, and as you see, it's 50, about uncirculated, and nobody but Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland is the 22nd and the 24th president. He's the only president in United States history who won presidency in 2 terms, non-consecutive. And notice how the seal here is lime green, and they used to call it Federal Reserve note. The back side is absolutely stunning. Look at the margins. It's a little wider on this side, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at the designs. Look how much empty space is over there, as the intention wasn't to create a portrait or an artwork. It's just simple enough to represent this $1,000 note. I mean, $1,000 note, I wonder in 1934, what would anybody do with $1,000 in their pocket? That it probably was a lot of money to carry around. But this one is absolutely great condition. It's not EPQ, but it's 50 by PMG. This is one of the most beautiful notes I've ever collected, and I never get enough of it. I am just so in love with this note, and this is one of the highest denominations I ever was able to collect, and this is without any doubt my #1 most favorite note I've ever collected. And that's going to conclude my top 10 high denomination notes in my collection. Now, guys, if you like the content of this channel, I really appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.